Hi, it's Rupert here from Action Coach Nick Kinross, and I'm joined today by Rebekah Carral from the Barricade Pest Control. Welcome, Rebekah.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for having me today.
So Rebekah, you've had an interesting career, and you've ended up establishing Barricade Pest Control. Tell us about the journey that took you to building a pest control business.
Okay, so I started Barricade Pest Control back in 2017 with my partner Sean. And at the time we were 23 and 24, me being the 24-year-old. And we had only been in an official relationship for 4 months. And then we made this decision to just start a business. The reason for that was that we were living with my mum and dad at the time, who had a very successful pest control business in Edinburgh, and they had started their business sort of later on in life and had no real ambition to grow further than what they were. But whilst living with them, we were sort of engaging in conversation about the business, discovered a few gaps in the market, and we also noticed how much business they actually passed away. um, so we knew that there was a real need for it in Edinburgh, and we were not particularly happy anymore in the jobs that we had. We weren't really feeling the passion for those jobs anymore, and we, out of the blue, just decided to set up a business. And the business itself, we actually started up as Barricade Pest Proofing. And the reason for that was there wasn't many companies in Edinburgh offering a pest proofing service. Sort of the after service of getting rid of pests is to prevent them from coming, back. And the reason we done that, oh sorry, bear with me. Sorry. So we decided to set up Barricade Pest Proofing, and after a short time doing that, we discovered that a lot of the feedback from the clients that we had were more along the lines of them hoping that we would deliver the full thing. So not just coming in at the end after another company, but actually being able to offer the full service from the beginning to the end. So we decided to learn pest control. And so I'm really sorry about, I don't know how to turn all these notifications off. Sorry. Yeah, so we decided to start up in or learn about pest control and launched Barricade Pest Control. And it was just myself and Sean from 2017 right up until 2020. And COVID hit, and we thought that that was going to be it, but actually we found quite a lot of benefits from COVID over that period in the pest control industry. More people were discovering pests that hadn't before, and with everybody being locked up and locked in with things that they didn't like, we found that our services were more in demand, and it gave us the ability to start to build our business. So it's been a journey.
But it certainly has, and I mean that's 7.5 years in and going strong, which is an achievement in itself. So you understood the pest control world because you've got parents that are involved in it and family and the like. But the two of you are going in fresh, setting up a brand new business. What were the challenges you faced right back at the start to get the business running?
So to start the business, first of all, we had £1,000, and we started up our business with £1,000 that took care of insurance, very basic marketing, some magnets for the side of our Ford Fiesta that we worked out of, and it was very basic stuff. So we did literally start from the bottom. Now, the benefit from it was the fact that I had family in pest control. So we did have a better start to most, but we were still building a business from nothing. And we still had a name to establish and our brand to establish and just to get ourselves out there because you know, a lot with things like pest control, a lot of people do get issues multiple times throughout a period of time. And we most people will stick to the people they know. So coming into a market where you've got people that, you know, they already like, and you're trying to sort of show yourself and present yourself as being like, hey, look, use us, we're good. You know, we might be new, we might be young, but we're here. So that was a challenge. And the other thing was age, because a lot of people associate pest control with, you know, sort of your older generation, your sort or your middle-aged. You don't see or hear of a lot of young pest controllers. So trying to show people that despite we had only been doing it for a short period of time, we had really invested in that learning and that training, and we didn't have the years of experience, but we did have the knowledge and the tools to do the job at the time. And that, even with that came a lot of, you know, a lot of challenges with clients as well, because when they were hearing a young voice on the phone or Sean was turning up to the jobs, it was like, oh, I didn't expect, you know, you to be here, young man. And it led to quite a lot of frustrations, but a lot of learning for herself. And it took me a while to sort of understand that and learn to deal with it as well, because it was a bit of a hurdle for us.
So what did you find was the most effective way of dealing with it?
I think it was growing, just having a thicker skin. Because in the beginning, you know, we were young, we were coming into an industry that we didn't really know a lot about. Although we took an interest in it, we didn't have, you know, most people our age will have that step of maybe working for a national company and then going, do you know what, actually, I'm going to start myself. However, we came from retail. You know, we didn't come from pest control. And actually, up until that point, being a teenager around a company in the family, I didn't take any interest in it. It wasn't something that, you know, I was just young and didn't really want to know. I didn't feel the need to know. So yeah, it was all about learning people in a different way, because we knew people through retail and how to sell things that way. Pest control is different because it's not the case of selling things to people, whether they need them or not. It's about emotions. It's dealing with people who are, you know, sometimes not the nicest to you because they are dealing with a very stressful situation that's causing them a lot of upset. Um, so it was more about being a little bit tougher and not taking things so personally, but actually believing in myself as well. Because when so many people you start to get the impression that people think, oh, you're quite young, you shouldn't be doing this. It starts to it kind of can hurt your confidence a little bit and think, well,
Yeah.
actually, maybe I am in the wrong job. Um, but learning to believe in myself more and go, no, actually, I know what I'm doing, right? I've never run a business before, but I've been in managerial roles and I've done other things in life that actually I know what I'm doing and I can handle this.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was definitely a lot of learning to do in that. It wasn't easy, but you know, it was good, and it's brought us to where we are today, which has been, you know, otherwise I would have found something else, a new job.
So you've started Barricade Pest Control, you've started building it up, you've got past the initial hurdles of persuading the clients that you know what you're doing.
Mhm.
You've got them accepting you as young people building a business. What were the things that you were determined to build into your business to set you apart from everyone else?
For us, it was more about brand and brand image. It was all about focusing on how the company looks to people, but also what we are delivering at the same time. So a lot of feedback that I'd had from other people in the industry, or even just clients in general, was that when they had had similar services, people were coming into their homes, barely engaging, doing the job, and leaving. So for us, despite the fact that we are here to solve pest problems, the main thing is the customer service and that customer journey from the get-go. So right from the point of contact with myself and my office team, or and all the way right through to the end, that they are having a personal service, it's focused on them, that the customer service is, absolutely on point, because we do deal with people who are going through quite a terrible time sometimes. And to have someone come in, a friendly face who's actually showing that they are interested in them and there to help them, the team get a lot of satisfaction out that as well. But that is the main thing. It's more about helping people and delivering a service that people know that they can trust. Because you go into people's homes and, that's their personal space. So to walk in and barely engage and walk back out again is really uncomfortable. So for us, it's more about learning about them, engaging with them. I call it hairdresser chat, like sometimes it's not all about talking about pests. Sometimes it's actually just, what you're up to today.
Yeah.
And that has been something that I do feel does set us apart from quite a lot of other companies, because all our staff are like that. They are people. They're into people. They are people persons. So yes, that was the main thing, really, was the customer service being on point, but also the brand being, on point as well.
So you've got the business started. You know what you're building in terms of that brand and the uniqueness that you're creating, and you've grown it to the point that you're starting to take on members of a team. Quite often, taking on team members is a bit of a shift for a new business.
Yeah.
What were the key learnings that you had in starting to employ other people?
So from our first employee, which was in 2020, and until now, the main thing for me has been trying to get it right. So there has been times where we have got it wrong. And when we get it wrong, it's, where we're under lots of stress, really busy, panicking, we need to fill that gap. And I've found that actually, despite sometimes being really under pressure, it is absolutely vital for us to take that time to figure out the right person for the business. And over the years, I've found, for me personally, when it hasn't been right, I've not been able to sleep. I can't feel relaxed at the weekend. I can't, it's just uneasy. And I think, get people right, you'll sleep at night. And that's the main thing. But that has been the biggest challenge, because in an industry like this, not everyone wakes up in the morning and says, I want to be a pest controller. We have to actually sort of teach people and really kind of sell our business and what we do to make people feel, actually, I can do that. And it is a really rewarding career. But it's not just as simple as putting a post out and picking somebody. It's a process, and it sometimes it's wrong and sometimes it's right. And it's one of the biggest challenges, I say, that we face, is recruitment.
So what are the attributes that make a great barricade pest controller?
Above everything is customer service, above everything, because pest control you can teach to anybody. I could teach you. Do you know what I mean? You can teach it to anyone. Obviously, if it's not just the case of teaching it to everyone. I think what makes a good pest controller is someone who has a genuine interest in the work that we do, a genuine interest in the welfare of animals as well, but is able to hold a conversation with somebody and anybody, because customer service for us, it is the key thing, and the skills and the learning, especially bringing someone new into the business, the skills, the learning, and the experience all comes after that. The person has to be right who's selling the business for us. They have to be right from the very beginning.
Yeah. And what's the process you take people through to check that they're right for you?
A lot of it, I mean, this is the hard part, because what we find, and through experience now of doing interviews, everybody can sell themselves. It's not until after that where you start to notice the cracks. And that is the hardest thing, because I think most people have mastered interviews. They know how to come in all singing and dancing, and and then actually you start to notice things after, and that is the challenging part. For us, there has to be, especially bringing in somebody new into pest control, there does have to be that interest in pest control. And a lot of that we see from the applications are people who say, I've been thinking about this for some time, or, I've known someone who does it and it sounds great, it sounds really rewarding. And those little things help. But obviously when you meet them, that comes down to it as well, is can they speak to you? Are they giving you eye contact? Are they I think even the people that just waffle on about a whole load of nonsense are actually the best people because they can talk.
Yes.
The ones who give you the one-worded answers and just, and nothing else, that's probably how they're going to be meeting anybody new. So the ones that can come in and tell you everything up until what their granny had for tea, they're the people that can actually hold a conversation. And that's what we're looking for.
Yeah, so that conversation that's going on isn't just about the skills that they're bringing, it's actually them demonstrating the character they've got and the way in which they're going to behave with the
That's
customers whilst they're in. That's really cool.
exactly. Yeah.
So you're 7.5 years in.
Mhm.
You and Sean have built, continuing to grow the business. Where are you going next? What's the next challenge with the business?
We are, well, at the minute, I'm always looking to do something else. And for me, it's always about setting a goal, whether it's a personal goal or a business goal. My last big goal was to buy a house, which I done last year, right? So now we've got past that personal goal. We're now back onto business. And Barricade Pest Control is a pest control company, and it's all things pest control that we offer. But most recently, we've started to change things. So we have now started the process of launching a second business, which will go in line with pest control, and it's specialist cleaning. And that's not just sort of your average cleaning. It's everything from hoarders' houses to house clearances, trauma cleans. And a lot of these things have pest control involved as well. So it's been able to deliver a service that we can go in and do everything. We're very used to going in either first or last with other companies that offer these same services. It means that we can deliver the full thing. So that is the first thing that's kind of next on the list, is to just get all the branding right for that and start the process, which is really exciting because it is just like starting up a whole new business again. But after that, I mean, I've done a lot of work recently about sort of trying to sort of get the foundations of the business as solid as they possibly can be. And they do shift, and I change my mind and, do all the things that business owners do on the daily. But for me, it's to try and get these foundations set in stone and to have a business that will operate just fine without me and without Sean. And that is the next big goal. And we know that it's not going to happen tomorrow. It might not happen next year, but the goal is for us eventually to be able to take ourselves out the business completely and for it to just run over nicely without us, because I think that should be and is the main goal for most people in business. You know, I was once told that you don't own a business if you are the business. So you know, that's always stuck with me. And we are the business, so we need to not be the business. We need the business to be its own entity and us to just be a part of it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, the best businesses are the ones that have value to people coming in to buy them.
Yeah.
You'll command the best value for a business if somebody who knows nothing about what you do can pick it up and drive it.
This is it. This is it. It's a very desirable market at the minute for buyers. Pest control, believe it or not. There's been some crazy offers out there for some businesses. We're not looking to sell despite the many emails and letters that I've received recently. Not anytime soon anyway. But you know, that is something that's always been on our minds because we are young. You know, I'm 31 now, so I've got many years ahead of me in my working life. It would be nice to get to some point or reach a point where we go, do you know what? Enough's enough. We've given it a good bash. And, you know, whether it's retirement, that would be lovely. But if it's not, you know, at least we've got something there that could give us a boost for whatever else we want to do.
So when you look back from the dizzy heights of 31 to the 18-year-old Rebekah just starting out on a career, what's the one piece of advice that you'd give her?
Um, Probably, I think at that, when I think back to that time in life, I think that I was not as aware of the capabilities that I had. And you know, I very much made decisions that weren't the best decisions, as people do, but even in my working career. And probably a lot to do with confidence coming into leaving school, because I did leave school when I was close to 18 anyway. Leaving school and going into a career that was completely different from pest control. And I think it would be to believe in myself more, but to really not back down when things didn't go my way as well, because that's a massive thing that I've learned in business, that, you know, it's like that. And rather than taking it personally and being upset when it didn't go my way, I need to just kind of get up and, you know, get on with it and learn from it. And that is one thing that I would tell myself then, is don't be too disheartened by anything that's going wrong right now. Take it, learn from it, get on with it.
Fantastic. I mean, some of the best moments when you look back on them, not always when you're in the middle of them, but are those moments when things don't go well, because they're the best learning opportunities. And
Absolutely. Absolutely. And through the years, I always think now that when things are not going right, it's usually a sign that things will be better soon, as long as we are focused on that. You know, when even if they always say that bad things happen in threes, and even if they happen in threes, fours, and fives, we know that it can't get much worse than that. So we need to look forward to what's to come, and most of the time it's a positive change. So yeah, so yeah, I have learned that a lot over the years, and to not, I think if I had been the same as I was back when I was 18, I would have gave up right away. I would never have continued to do what I'd done.
yeah, that belief's huge. Uh,
Mhm.
yeah, carry that belief forward and keep setting your goals, and the success is going to keep rolling in. So, well, thank you for sharing that journey with us. It's been really fun listening to you describe how you've built the business, and wish you and Sean every success in the future.
Thank you. Thank you very much.